This happened during my sophomore year at the University of Delaware. It was around midterms, and the library stayed open 24/7 for a couple of weeks. I was pulling insane hours because I'd been slacking off all semester, so I was basically living in the library for 3 days straight. Now, our library had this old section in the basement, kind of forgotten by most students. It wasn't renovated like the main floors. The carpet had this awful floral pattern like it hadn't been updated since the 70s, and the lights down there had this constant low buzz. It was weirdly warm, too, like someone forgot to fix the thermostat. I found a small study room in the corner, all the way at the end of the basement hallway, room B16. It was quiet. It had a whiteboard, and most importantly, nobody ever used it. I could camp out for hours without being disturbed. First couple nights, everything was fine. I'd get there around 9 p.m., study until 3 or 4 in the morning, then stumble back to my dorm, half dead. But on the third night, things got strange. I walked into B16 as usual, dumped my backpack on the table, and noticed a chair in the corner of the room had been moved, like someone had been sitting there recently. It was facing the door. I didn't think much of it. Figured maybe a janitor took a break or something. About an hour into studying, I started hearing tapping. Very light, very faint, not rhythmic, just random taps. Sometimes it'd be on the wall behind me, sometimes on the glass window in the door, but every time I'd stop what I was doing and listen, nothing. Dead silent. It happened 3, maybe 4 times. Each time I brushed it off. Sleep deprivation, right? Around 1 a.m., I decided to step out to grab a coffee from the vending machine upstairs. I came back maybe 5 minutes later, and the chair was back in the corner. Same angle, same exact spot. Except now the whiteboard had something written on it. 3 simple words. You're not alone. I laughed out loud, like actually chuckled, thinking some student must have messed with me, but I was already on edge, and I didn't remember anyone else being down there. Still, I erased the board, moved the chair back under the table, and kept studying. I wasn't going to let some stupid prank get to me. Around 2:30, the temperature dropped, like immediately. It went from weirdly warm to freezing in under 10 seconds. I put on my hoodie and kept working, but my hands were shaking. I looked around for a vent or something. Maybe the AC finally kicked in, but there was nothing. Then the lights flickered, twice. Then they shut off completely. I froze. It was pitch black, like I couldn't even see my own hands in front of my face. I sat there for a good 30 seconds, hoping they'd come back on. They didn't. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and as I shined it toward the door, there was a face pressed against the glass. Not just any face, pale, eyes wide open, mouth slightly parted like it had just exhaled on the glass. But it didn't move. It didn't blink. It just stared. I dropped my phone, scrambled to grab my stuff, slammed the door open, but no one was there. The hallway was completely empty. I ran. I didn't even stop to check the elevator, just booked it up the stairs, 2 at a time, until I was out of the building. I didn't go back to that room after that. But here's where it gets worse. A couple weeks later, I was telling a friend about what happened. She used to work part-time at the library and got super quiet when I said, "Room B16." She pulled out her phone and showed me a news article from 1992. A student named Thomas Blake, sophomore, studied alone in the library basement almost every night. One night, campus security found him dead in room B16, heart failure. But the weird part? He'd written "You're not alone" on the whiteboard over and over again, 17 times. Since then, they sealed the room off. It wasn't supposed to be in use anymore. Somehow the lock had been broken, and the door left open. I swear I'm not making this up. And the worst part, that face, the one in the window, the picture in the article, it was the same guy, same haircut, same intense stare, same sunken cheeks. I've never gone near the basement again, and now, even when I'm in a crowd, I still get this feeling that I'm not alone.